Cloud Carry here to talk to you today a little bit about strategic diversity and what that should mean to you as a player of this game. You might hear strategic diversity mentioned occasionally, but what does it really mean? Well, just as the term implies, it would mean that a large range of strategies are viable or at least functional enough to the point that certain strategies are not always in favor. This can be hard for your average player to understand, since this changes from patch to patch. In fact, many imbalances are subtly intentional. We're not talking about champion bugs or hotfixes here. Now, this is purely from a balance standpoint, and how does this game hold up, all things considered? Well, they do patch the game pretty frequently, but they don't change the jungle all that often for good reason. In the past, we've seen emergent strategies such as utility masteries being in favor of on anyone that would be jungling due to the large increase in experience that has since been phased out of the game. Now, for Season 5, I wouldn't recommend going full utility, but you may find that on some champions it does wonders for your clear and reliability. Utility is going to be a bit weaker as compared to your other options. Specifically in duels, you may simply just lose. More to the point, however, for this kind of jungle clearing safety and power, Riot wants to make sure you're giving something up. This is probably the first season I've seen they have effectively made a true risk-reward of certain mastery builds for offensive-minded champions and defensive-minded champions alike. Every tree goes through periods of buffs and nerfs, and it is in the downtime that you can find some of the strangest combinations I've found. Combined with the Mastery second wind bladed armor, some tanky champions you wouldn't think would be able to solo the dragon can do so. This video is not so much about why utility masteries are OP, because they're obviously not. You can get out-dueled with masteries as noted, but the options are there. For most tank junglers, they wouldn't mind running 14 points in utility anyway, since it provides great benefits. For some AD based champions, dropping the extra points in the offensive tree is not really going to do so well for you. You also need the extra points in the defensive tree to make sure that your dueling capability remains high. Because if you don't deal a whole lot of damage and you're not as tanky as your champion is meant to be, then you're just putting yourself in a disadvantaged position. So for that reason, certain champions like Kha'Zix, he's always going to want to go 21 offense most of the time. That's just one example. But yeah, getting back to strategic diversity, what is important is that strategic diversity has been met. While I will suggest every champion is as viable as another, it's important to note that from a pure base statistics standpoint, taking any other factors like sustain or dueling out, some of these champions should have to take points in utility to jungle as well as they can. Honestly, I have footage of over 40 junglers that could solo dragon at level 3 without a leash. I got tired of trying new ones. So, the strategic diversity for the jungle is there finally, and this is something that Riot has been trying to accomplish for years. And obviously, every champion isn't viable in the jungle. There's some junglers that were very popular in the past, like Evelynn, that are in a very bad place right now, but that doesn't mean that strategic diversity doesn't exist right now. I would say that due to like a few item changes they could make, it would completely fix all the problems in the jungle. So at least they're going in the right direction.